Alright, I'm going to show you how to open the planter from a closed position. When it's closed, you have 15-inch rows. When it's open, you have 30-inch rows. So the first thing you have to do is come to the back, and these are your jacks that hold everything tight together. I've already loosened them, but normally they'd be jacked and it would be solid. And so you loosen them, and then you just flip these pieces up. And these air hoses are what feed into the planter to feed the seeds into the discs. So you have to take those off as well. So again, I'll flip the jacks up, remove the hoses, and then what's going to happen is the planter is going to come apart, and I'm going to rotate it using hydraulics to get it into the wide open 16 row 30 planter. So we'll come around to the front. Our tractor, I use a bungee cord to get the hydraulics active. You'll see that I just pull it across and that holds the hydraulics in operation while I'm maneuvering the levers down on the planter. Now I've got the hydraulics running, and this valve on the side has to be open, and there's a little label here that says valve open for unfold. So while you're unfolding, you have this open, and these are the levers that operate the hydraulics on the right side. These are the levers that operate the hydraulics on the left side. So to open, you basically start with this lever, and it'll start swinging out. Like so, and you can kind of watch it go, and it's kind of temperamental, so you want to go kind of slow, and as you go, it'll continue to swing, and in some cases, depending on the levelness of your ground, you may have to start to twist it using the other lever at the same time. So I'll twist a little bit just to kind of show you. Go a little bit this way, but you have to be careful because you don't want to run into anything on the side of the planter or damage it. So I'll continue to go this way, and then I use the other lever to rotate it a little bit. Whoops. Once you get it all the way extended, then you use this one to rotate it into place. And once it hits, then you pull back on this one, and it basically evens it out and makes it nice and straight. And at that point, you're done on this side. You do the same thing on the other side. And this one has a little bit of a trick because it sticks a little bit. So I'm going to grab a pry bar that I always bring with me. And I'll show you on the back. I just put the pry bar right in here, give it a little nudge, and it basically sticks a little bit, and the hydraulics are not strong enough to pull it out. Once you loosen it, it'll work just fine. Alright, so again, I'm using these two levers. The inside one swings it out. And the outside one turns it back. have it. And at that point, I'll loose my hydraulics, I'll set it down, and then we'll hook up all of the connections. So now I'm going to set the planter down. And at this point, I'd flip these down and then once it's caught on there, you just tighten it up. And that holds everything nice and tight there. You take this little plug out, because this is going to be the air that feeds to this side of the planter. You take the plug out, I'm not going to do that right now just to save time, and then you hook the hose up like so, and that'll run the air to it. And then down here on the wheels, these outer wheels, there's also a valve, which if you get in close here, this valve needs to be turned up. And then the hydraulic fluid will go to that valve so it'll lift and lower. Back here, again, you shut this valve now because once the planter's open, we don't need to fold the wings. You shut this. And then the hydraulics will run your markers. If you have GPS and you don't need markers, you can just leave that valve open and it'll be no different. But if you need the markers, then you shut this valve and then it runs the markers with those hydraulics. You can also take this out. You can loosen it, pull the pin, because the springs will allow it to flex a little bit more. Really, you can also leave it in. It doesn't flex a lot anyway. If you have a level field, it doesn't really matter, but that's if you read the book, it says to take this out when you're in the field. You do the same thing on the other side, and you're ready to go. Planting 30 row, 16 30 row rows. That's how you unfold. To fold, do it in reverse. That's all I got.